Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Phil. This is the Level 1 podcast, and my door is open. Can't see the background as well when it's open, right? Hello. How's everyone doing today? It is Monday, the 8th of April, 2024. And obviously, it's the beginning of a streaming week here. A good variety of stuff coming up. I'm all over the place today. I'm not going to lie. I am kind of scattered because I've got so much going on right now. And I find myself bouncing between all of my channels of content. And I'm kind of like a little scatterbrained and trying to catch up and making sure that I have everything ready and going. And I'm like, oh my God. This morning, I'm like, so I uploaded videos last night for Fallout, but I forgot that I have a schedule that I wanted to put out on the Throwback channel. I didn't do that. And also I want to set up my next stream for next week. Oh, yeah, but I got to get the stream going, but I got to do this and that. Oh, I got emails coming in. I got to check on this and that behind the scenes. And it's like, it's a lot to juggle one man, you know. But I'm doing my best, and I hope you guys are enjoying everything. There is so much going on. Like, every channel right now has streams of new content coming out. So I hope that you guys are enjoying it. No matter what it is you like. If you like new gameplay, obviously DSPGaming is the place to be. Or the daily podcast, of course. If you like reacting stuff, right now, the React show will be going live daily over on DSP React. And later on this week, the Fallout television series on Prime Video is releasing, and my wife and I are going to watch it together, and I am going to do a review of it. And I don't know if it's going to be like a one-video review or if it's going to be like several, depending on how fast we watch it, because I doubt we're going to be watching the entire thing in like one day. So, I hope you guys will check that stuff out. And, of course, on the Throwback channel, we've got so much going on the Throwback channel. I've got, like, 3 separate things. We've got the daily videos of retro playthroughs. The remastered Final Fantasy 13 continues. Red Dead Redemption concluded yesterday. And as of tomorrow, we've got the start of Fallout 3 Remastered, which is what you guys have kind of wanted since the get-go. Me taking those original Fallout 3 videos from 2008, and now, instead of them being this skewed sideways perspective with a 4x3 480p camera, they're now stretched out, reproportioned to be full widescreen, full HD, text you can actually read, upscaled to be 60 frames per second, and having 30-minute parts instead of 10-minute parts, actual thumbnails and titles, putting it into a playlist that's easily digestible and watchable now. So, yeah, a lot is going to change with those original videos starting tomorrow. You'll see the first part live, and then what'll happen is every day it'll alternate between Fallout 3 and Final Fantasy 13 on the DSP Throwback channel. But in addition to that, there's a 3-part series from my birthday marathon where I reacted to my biggest, most popular videos on YouTube of all time, and that's concluding today. And then, as of last night, I started my retro react of The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, Season 1, Episode 1, and there's going to be a new part of that going live daily at 10 p.m., so it's like, oh my God, there's content out the butt on every channel right now, you know? I'd say right now, this channel was overloaded on Saturday because of the birthday marathon, and people are just starting to get caught up, and now we're going to get back into the swing of things. So, you see what I mean? Like, I'm pulled in all these different directions right now, with all this stuff going on. And so I am a little bit scatterbrained. All right. But we're going to get back on track. Today we jump back into games and actual progress. Although we have some stuff to talk about today's game. Because we could finish a game playthrough today in Alone in the Dark. Or we could do the other side of it. Which I'm not really understanding how different it is. And I'm going to ask you guys in a little bit when we talk about it for feedback on that. Okay. Because I'm curious. If an other side run is significantly different and interesting, I want to do it. If it's not that different or not different at all, then I don't. So we'll talk about that in a sec. Also, on top of all that going on, obviously the world is abuzz because of a eclipse today. And a lot of people are all talking about it. I couldn't watch the eclipse even if I wanted to. Here in Washington State, it is full clouds and rain today. So no eclipse for me. I wouldn't even see it even if I wanted to. It's going to be a dark day. By the way, hi Jasper. Hi Jasper Kitty. Jasper is here today. to hang out with us. I don't know if he'll stay in the room or not for the podcast or for the gameplay. That's his prerogative, as always, right, buddy? Here he comes. So we'll see. I know a lot of you guys like to see Jasper. Here he is. Ooh, careful. No slipping. All right. So we're in full swing here with the show. And positive vibes all around. I feel like really positive after an awesome birthday, an awesome React Day yesterday. I can't wait to talk about it. And everything continuing on nicely here with the new games. I'm so happy we are into new games, new rotation, no lengthy RPGs outside of Elden Ring, which is kind of a different situation and a good one. Good stuff continues, right? So, shall we talk about it? I think we should talk about yesterday and how the React Day went. And then we should talk about the schedule for the week and basically what's going to happen, because it really depends on what happens with Alone in the Dark today, which we should discuss. So, good stuff. Let's do it. So, yesterday was April 7th. It was React Day. And what that means is I had 2 React shows going on. The first was on my DSP Reacts channel, and this is my clip show, DSP versus the Internet, where I watch clips submitted by the channel members. And this show is a big variety show. You never know what you're going to see on this show. Sometimes it's a video game discussion. Sometimes it's about cats. Sometimes it's about music, food, vlogging of different styles, comedy skits, documentary style content. Like, it's a huge variety of stuff over there. And basically, I love the show because you never know what you're going to get. And sometimes there's some really insightful stuff. And I think yesterday there was some pretty insightful stuff. At the same time, there was some mind-numbing, brain-melting nonsense as well. But that's the beauty of the show. Right, Jasper? By the way, Jasper has a new collar. You may see it. He has a dapper bow on. Although it looks like he rotated it around probably by scratching. The bow is now on the back of his neck. Originally, it wasn't. Originally, it was like on the side. Looks like he moved it around. Anyway, so the React show yesterday was pretty good. I don't really mention it that often here, because usually, you know, it's just an ongoing thing for people who like that style of content. Like I said, later this week, there will be more content on that channel as I begin to review the Fallout TV series, so at least there'll be some variety over there. But there actually was an extra bonus video, Feasting with Phil, where I tried Korean barbecue on stream for the first time from my birthday marathon. So you can check that out as well if you're interested over there. Okay? Now, if you like that content, please consider becoming a member. Members are the people who nominate the clips for that channel, and you're a part of the fun every week on Sundays. Okay? Cool. Now, what I really want to talk about is last night's Retro React stream over on DSP Throwback. Okay? So you can find this channel at youtube.com/@DSP Throwback. This is a channel where, as I've already discussed, we've got all kinds of throwback content from my 15 to 16-year legacy on YouTube. My oldest playthroughs restored. But in addition, my oldest playthroughs restored, but in addition, me reacting to old content, both of which seems to be pretty, successful on that channel. So, last night, we began a retro react of The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, Season 1, Episode 1. And we did the entirety of the first episode, which is about 12 parts on YouTube, which would be 2 hours of gameplay. But of course, with me reacting to it and adding to it, it took almost 3 hours, okay? Now, here's the thing. Here's the direct comparison between that stream last night and the Bully stream of Bully Scholarship Edition that I did the week before. Attendance. Attendance last night was honestly not as great as it was for Heavy Rain or as it was for Bully. I actually think that both Heavy Rain and Bully brought in around 300 or more viewers. I'm not exactly sure because I don't just sit there staring at the viewer count during the stream. But the one time that I did casually go over and click and glance, I think it said like 230 viewers. And I was like, oh, is the stream doing well? But honestly, for those who were actually there, all right, we were actually having a great time. Like, the engagement, everyone was talking, everyone was chilling, everyone had something to say about the playthrough or the old commentary or whatever. And the support was great. I'm not going to lie. Quite a few people came out and tipped and gifted memberships and wanted to see the stream be successful. So it was. I mean, from that perspective, it went really well. Now, I'm not saying that it was like, oh my God, the best stream I've ever done, but it was basically on par with what had been going down with the Heavy Rain streams, which prompted me to do 6 straight weeks of Heavy Rain to finish the game playthrough. Okay? So, in this regard, some people already, we were talking last night about, well, will I do this every week? Because the discussion was, the bully stream last week didn't do that well. Actually, it was pretty slow for engagement. People were bored halfway through the stream. And yeah, the support was slow. And even over the week, the videos on demand didn't even do that good on the channel. Some of them don't even have 300 views yet. So obviously, people weren't that interested in bully. So the question was, would people be engaged and want to see The Walking Dead every week? Keep in mind, season 1 of The Walking Dead Telltale series has 5 episodes, but they're of varying lengths. For example, Jasper, I don't know if you're aware of this, episode 2 is around 14 parts or 15 parts, so that's like 2.5 hours, which means it would probably take me 3 or more hours to react to it. Episode 3 is the same, but then episode 4 is slightly shorter, and then episode 5, the final one, is really short. It's only like an hour and a half, not even. So if you do the math there, that's like 10, 14, like, you know, maybe between 10 to 13 hours to finish it, okay? So if you do that math, you figure, okay, that could be 5 streams, that could be 6 streams. It really depends, okay? It depends on how much I pause and how much I have to say on each one of these episodes, right? So, based on last night, on the level of engagement of support, I am going to be doing another Retro React stream next Sunday night. Same time, same place on DSP Throwback. This will be episode 2. But I don't think we're going to finish episode 2. If it really is like 15 parts, it took us almost 3 hours to get through 12 parts last night. So likely what we'll do is we'll just do the 2 to 2.5 hours, get maybe 5 parts, and then we'll say, okay, we're going to pause here. And then when we resume, it'll be continuing from there, ending episode 2 and starting episode 3, and that's okay. We don't have to do the entirety of one episode each and every time that we stream this game. We can split it up appropriately, and honestly, it might make the final stream better, because the final stream won't just be an hour to an hour and a half of the final episode. It'll probably be the end of episode 4, and then the whole conclusion, episode 5, all at once. It's probably be more digestible that way. So, I think that's how we're going to handle it. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be doing Walking Dead every single Sunday. Again, we're going to take it one by one each week, and we're going to see what happens each Sunday night. If people keep showing up and engaging and supporting, I'll do it every Sunday. If I notice that attendance and engagement and support is dropping off, we'll stop doing it as often. We'll maybe do it every other week. And instead, we'll do more gameplay nights, okay? So let's see, but based on the positivity, the feedback, the support, and everything from last night, it looks like you guys liked it, and you wanted to keep it in the rotation, so we're going to do that at least for next week, and then see what happens each week. Okay? Cool. So, Walking Dead looks like it is the big ongoing React project over on DSP Throwback for a bit. We're going to get through the whole season 1, which, again, probably going to take a month to a month and a half, depending on time, and if we do it every week or not. So, there you go. Cool. Now, some people have said, well, Red Dead's over. Are you now going to immediately upload the online play you did with Red Dead Redemption 1, and are you also going to upload Undead Nightmare? The answer is, yes, I'm eventually going to upload that content, but not right now. We just had 2 months of Red Dead, 40 parts. Let's give Red Dead a rest, right? Let's not go crazy with Red Dead. I feel like the best time to upload the Undead Nightmare playthrough would actually be Halloween, right? Like maybe around October-ish, I start uploading the Undead Nightmare playthrough, which, by the way, is significantly shorter than the main game. I want to say that it's only about maybe 6 to 8 hours long. I remember that John Rambo came over and we did the entire DLC in one sitting in one day. So it's not that lengthy, although it's wild and wacky with the zombies and the freaking side missions with the Sasquatch and all kinds of weird shit. It's a very interesting one for that time of year, and that's why I think we should save it for that time of year. There's no rush to get that kind of content out. The other discussion that we're going to have around DSP Throwback very soon is what happens when Final Fantasy 13 completes. Well, FYI, it will complete probably within a month to a month and a half tops. We have about the final third of the game to go, and we're already a chunk into it. Now that the cast has hit the open world in Final Fantasy 13, the game changes dramatically. It becomes interesting because you can explore everywhere. At the same time, the game becomes an insane grind. If you didn't know, this game, it just basically has a misstep at every point. Final Fantasy 13 really is not a very good game. And I can tell you that now, watching back this playthrough, the original playthrough just I'm doing my absolute best to make it entertaining. The game is utterly frustrating. So I'm in the open world, and I wander into this cave area where you need to go for the story part, and there are these enemies that just look like these big robots. And you go to fight the enemy. I'm not kidding you. It takes almost 20 minutes to kill one of these. Because the way the game works is you can't even hurt the enemy till you stagger it. But the enemy constantly hurts you, so you have to buff your party, heal your party, buff your party, heal your party, buff your party, heal your party. Then it's time to attack him. Oh crap, he attacked again. Buff your party, heal your party, buff. You finally stagger him. Now you can do combos. You're doing combos and launching him. You'll get like a third of his health bar off. Oh, start all over. Buff your party, heal your party. It's like, it's not a boss. This is a normal enemy. This game is such a tedious mess and just not fun to play. And I'm trying to watch it and enjoy it. And there are parts that I do enjoy. But dude, Final Fantasy 13 is a huge misstep. I hear memes now that more people say that Lost Odyssey was kind of their Final Fantasy 13 because that's the game that they wanted to be the style that Final Fantasy 13 would have been, and 13 was just such a huge misstep. But it's hilarious because 13 sold in droves and then had 2 sequels. So obviously, even though it sounds like, I don't know, some people didn't like it like me, I guess a lot of people did, or else why would there have been 2 sequel games, right? Anyway, 13 will continue about at least another month to finish, but the question is, what's next, right? What's the next playthrough for DSP Throwback? Well, we're already starting Fallout 3 tomorrow, all right? So that's cool, but I'm thinking, and you guys can disagree, and that's okay if you do, I was thinking L.A. Noire, because L.A. Noire is the other missing playthrough. You know, the 3 big missing ones were Red Dead Redemption, Final Fantasy 13, and L.A. Noire. So to me, it kind of makes sense that L.A. Noire should be the next one on deck to be restored and uploaded. Right now, you can't watch it anywhere on the internet. It just doesn't exist because the channel got shut down. And of course, it would be restored with 1080p visuals, or actually it would be 1440p visuals and 60 frames per second and everything, upgraded. It might be a bit challenging because of the music, all those games back then had licensed old-timey music, and that music tends to get claimed on YouTube and have issues. So I guess we can see what happens over time. But I think that could be next, unless you guys have an idea of something better. And that's what I want to propose to you, because we have about a month to figure this out. Of all of my classic playthroughs, think about this. All the stuff that I did on the original Darkside Phil channel, or any of the videos that I did on the DSPGaming channel before 2013 when I converted to direct capture. Any of the old style camera stuff with the worst visuals, horrible audio, and 10-minute parts, right? Which of those playthroughs do you consider like the best that you would like to see restored or remastered for a new audience here in 2024, okay? And I know you all have different opinions. Some people think, oh, the original Mass Effect run was amazing. I'd love to see that. This game, that game, Call of Duty, right? The original some Call of Duty narrative runs and stuff like that. I'm curious. What do you think, right? Chad says Indigo Prophecy. The Indigo Prophecy playthrough. Interesting take. I didn't even think of that one, honestly. It didn't even come to mind, but you're right. That's a super old one, and it looks like shit. You're right. So, think about it, all right? And I'm going to need your... yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 absolutely qualifies. Assassin's Creed 2 was my very crappy quality back then. That could be a huge upgrade, yes. Star Wars The Force Unleashed, says Iron Man the Power. All right, so what I would like to do, give me your feedback over the next couple of weeks. I want to take in your feedback, and then I want to weigh and balance the pros and cons. Also, I'm going to talk to my editors about, what would be more interesting for them to work on and what would be, within their capability. I mean, right now they're doing Fallout 3, and that's like the hardest one possible. It's just such bad quality. And to make that look good is such an undertaking, but I seen part 1, and I was blown away. I was like, I can't believe how good that looks compared to the original. It looks like it's someone else's run, but it's not. It's my gameplay. It's my voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the same game. It's the same. They just did so much great work running it through these multiple editors and upscalers and all kinds of crap. I couldn't believe how good it turned out. Look at this. Did I do BioShock yet? No, we didn't do BioShock yet. Darksiders, the original run, Darksiders 1. One of my earliest reviews was Darksiders 1. Yeah. So seriously, one of my earliest playthroughs and reviews, that could work. All right. So please give me your feedback on this. All right. I would love to have your feedback on what should be the next throwback playthrough for DSP Throwback once Final Fantasy 13 concludes in about a month or so. Let's talk about it over the month. Cool. Let's talk about the schedule. So today, it's Alone in the Dark. And now here's where we have to make a big decision. We played 9 hours of Alone in the Dark, and I've loved every single hour I've played this game. The atmosphere, the story, the music, it's all awesome survival horror. The one thing where it falls short is the combat. Not the puzzles. The puzzles have been good, but the combat has been lackluster. But at the same time, it's kind of in line with survival horror. Can you name a survival horror game that has superb combat? It's almost like they purposely make the combat cumbersome so that the game's scarier, right? The more difficult the combat is, the harder it is to get away from enemies, resource management, etc. It makes it more tense. So I don't have a problem with the combat. The major complaint would be the bugs. There have been a few bugs in the game where I get stuck, which is kind of annoying. But then I get out of them. Like I haven't had a single part of the game where like I either got stuck and couldn't proceed, or the game was like broken or anything like that. I just had a good amount of time in the game. I've had a great time. This 9 hours. So I'm looking forward to the end. People are saying today I should finish my Carnby. Is it Garnby or Carnby? I'm not sure. I forgot his name, if it's Carnby or Garnby. But the main character, who's played by David Harbour, his run should conclude today. Okay? Now, apparently there are 2 runs in this game. There's the Carnby run, but also the Emily run. And at first, when I first started the game, someone actually had a comment in chat and said, one of the disappointing things about the game is that the runs aren't different. So they really only do the game once. I was like, okay. But then during the course of the game, people started leaving comments on my video saying, that's not true. The runs actually are different and they start the same. But when you get about halfway through the game, Emily starts finding other things and has alternate scenes and areas. And at the end of the game is completely different. That's what people are saying in the comments and on and off on the streams. Now, I don't know because I don't spoil myself. Okay? Obviously, I like this game a lot. I wouldn't be opposed to doing the Emily side run, especially because now we've got the game kind of down and we know the mansion, we know everything. So I don't think the second run would basically be, you know, cumbersome or worse. It probably would be more streamlined, right? So it's really, how about this? Here's what we'll do. Let's beat is it Garnby or Carnby? Man, I can't remember, but let's beat his side run today. Okay? Let's see what time it is. And let's make a decision based on how much you guys are liking the game if we want to do a second run. I'm not opposed to doing it, especially because it looks like it's going to be a shorter one. Maybe we could do it in like 3 streams instead of the 4 it took for Carnby. You know, and so, okay, so Mr. I Gamer just said it's very similar, but Emily's story is much better. So her story is different from Carnby's, right? So maybe we want to do it, right? I think we should then. If it really is better and we're going to get more story elements that are more interesting and we get the whole story by doing it, then we probably should do the other side run, okay? Now, whether or not we keep it as a day stream, that's another thing entirely. Perhaps what we do now is we flip the streams and we make Alone in the Dark night streams. And so the day streams would be alternating between Elden Ring and Helldivers 2. And then the night streams would be alternating between Alone in the Dark and Street Fighter 6 and Reacting. And every once in a while, co-op with my wife. Floppy McShito, I don't think I'm going to believe anything you say. Your name is disgusting. Change your name and maybe I'll take you seriously. Okay. Anyway. So, let's think. Let's talk. Let's figure this out today. All right? If this is what you want. And we'll go from there. Because actually, this was the question, is what's going to be the next game when I beat Alone in the Dark? But maybe the answer is Alone in the Dark. We just do the other side, but we alternate. Maybe now we do it as night streams or whatever. Okay? Okay, let's see. Let's figure that out. So that's today's daytime stream. Today, and on the night stream, we get blinked out of existence. Because there's a total eclipse and the whole world's going to end. So that's why I'm not doing a night stream tonight. Okay. Maybe not, but I'm not doing a night stream tonight regardless, okay? Why am I not doing a night stream tonight? Because I have to film my private patron videos for the month. And quite frankly, I have a few odds and ends around here that I'm like way behind this month. Like, I have a few things I have to do that normally I would have had done behind the scenes of the business by now this month. And I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to. So tonight would be the perfect opportunity to do the private videos, to get that stuff caught up, to get everything on track, okay? And then I'll be good to go. So no late stream tonight, okay? And I know you're all going to be very sad about that, but hey, you have a podcast to watch, you'll have gameplay of Alone in the Dark to watch, you'll have throwback videos to watch, you'll have react videos to watch. You'll have stuff to watch if you want new content, okay? Tomorrow, Tuesday the 9th, I come back with a full day. It'll be the podcast followed by Helldivers 2. We're going to do a full major stream of Helldivers 2 and dive right in. Now, I'm curious because yesterday someone told me the robots had been defeated. That, you know, there's two enemy groups in the game, the alien bugs and the robots. And for the first time ever, apparently the robots had been defeated. And so people were uncertain what's going to happen next in the game. I don't know either. I guess we could find out. Tomorrow we'll play and maybe jump in and see what happens as I play Helldivers 2. It'll actually be my first major Helldivers 2 stream ever, because I've only done a 2-hour night stream on Wednesday, and then I played it for an hour during my birthday. So I guess we'll actually do a major stream of it tomorrow and see how it does. Will Helldivers 2 bring people to the stream and actually get them engaging and supporting? Are people that interested in it? Or is it just a gimmick you want to see me play twice and I never play it ever again? Right? Let's find out tomorrow, I guess. Okay. Tuesday night. Street Fighter 6. I'm going to do some Street Fighter 6 tomorrow night. More than likely, I'll play as the characters I haven't used yet. You know, Dalsim and Honda. Now, whether I'll pick one of those characters and play them all night, or if I'll split the night half and half between, I don't know. But I basically, at that point, I'll like kind of played with each character that, you know, that I've used and got to a good ranking. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. So tomorrow, all multiplayer, like literally all multiplayer. It'll be Helldivers 2 on the first stream, Street Fighter 6 on the late stream. Then Wednesday, Elden Ring. And in Elden Ring, we're going to beat the first Moog boss, who is not the true Moog, but the easier one. And then we're going to move on to the northeastern part of the map, which is the frozen area. And then we're going to just continue on in that part of the game. There's still a lot to go in Elden Ring before I get to the end. So it should be fun getting back into Elden Ring. Now, if all goes according to plan, and there's no monkey wrenches, and there's no problems, okay? Wednesday night, my wife and I are going to begin with our Beyond Two Souls co-op playthrough. But there might be problems because her work schedule already threw her for a loop this week. Like, we were supposed to have Wednesday off for our anniversary, and then they changed her work schedule. And it screwed everything up. Like, oh, crap. So, I don't know if she's going to be up to it and want to do it. Right now, she says, maybe. Okay? Again, the best way we're going to get enjoyment out of a co-op playthrough with my wife is that she's 100% ready for it, into it, not feeling exhausted, not feeling stressed, not feeling pressured, but she wants to do it. She wants to do it, but not if she's all stressed out because she's been working all day. All right? So we got to see what happens with this and go from there. It may not be Wednesday night. I'm just going to say that up front. It may be, and it may not. If it's not, then probably Wednesday night, we'll do a random stream of, say, maybe Alone in the Dark, the second run, or we could do Helldivers, or we could do something, okay? It's fine. We don't have to commit to doing it this week. I would have liked to do it this week, but of course this all had to happen and stress everybody out right when we were having a week that was nicely planned out and was going to be set in stone. We were going to have a nice anniversary celebration on Wednesday, and now all those plans have been smashed because of fucking work bullshit. It's life, right? It is what it is. So, all that being said, good week coming up, all right? Now, I'm off Thursday. Friday, when I come back, it'll probably be an all-multiplayer day again. It'll probably be like Helldivers 2 in the day stream and then Street Fighter 6 Friday Night Fights on the night stream. And then we'll play it by ear and go from there. You know, what we're going to be doing each day, daytime, it'll probably be like Elden Ring and maybe some Alone in the Dark or something. We'll see over the weekend. Now, keep in mind, there are some new games coming out that we had looked at in the gaming schedule update that we did during my birthday on Saturday. Notably, there is a game called Halibut Herald, or Herald Halibut, coming out on April 16, and it's a Game Pass game, and apparently it's really unique. It's like almost looks like stop-motion claymation animation. I don't know exactly what it is, but it may be worth just a shot to see what the hell it is, because it's on Game Pass, and if we play it and enjoy it, I can keep it in the rotation. If we play it and we're like, what the hell is this piece of crap, then we never have to play it again, Okay? So there you go. Keep in mind, also coming up this month, there's a game called Another Crab's Treasure on April 25th that, from what everyone says, is essentially just Dark Souls with crabs. And what I mean by that is the crustacean creatures that live underwater. I don't mean, you know, Dark Souls characters that have crabs in their crotches. That would actually be pretty rough. Imagine you're trying to fight a giant monster that can kill you with one hit, and all of a sudden the crabs are biting you down under. Sheesh. Life is rough for some gaming characters. But anyway, so we got some other stuff coming up this month. The only other thing that I think that we should discuss is already people have asked me, hey, Phil, when are you going to be doing another marathon and what will it be? What's the next big event? Because we like when you have big events to look forward to. Okay? Well, we just did one first week of April. So, to be fair, I think we would likely do another marathon-style event either in late May or early June. I want to do it before the Elden Ring DLC comes out. Because if we start trying to do it during the Elden Ring DLC, everyone's going to be upset with me that I'm taking time away from the Elden Ring DLC to do stuff. So it has to be before the 21st of June, okay? What should it be? I mean, we have to think about it. There's probably many different options that we can do. But one thing that someone had brought up, all right, that was kind of interesting is they said, why not do a fighting game-centric event? All right, especially because by then, perhaps Akuma will be out in Street Fighter 6. But also involve other things. Like, for example, maybe do Fightcade stuff that day. Like, maybe turn on Fightcade and play a lot of retro fighting games. Play Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, X-Men versus Street Fighter, or Marvel versus Capcom, right? And I don't have to play too much of each one. I can play like an hour of each. But there's like good variety of me playing different fighting games and talking about the history of fighting games. I could do some reminiscing about stories about me traveling and playing competitive Street Fighter, right? It's just an idea. I'm just throwing that out there. We don't have to do that. But I thought that would be something unique. The only other time I've done a fighting game-centric event, if you remember, was the big fighting game event I did for the release of Street Fighter 6 last year. And my wife made food from the Street Fighter cookbook that we tried during the course of that day. And it was pretty fun. All right. So maybe we could do something like that. But that would entail me getting Fightcade set up on my mini PC, being able to jump between many retro games, but also playing Street Fighter 6 that day, and doing other things, obviously, you know. So let me know if you like that idea. If we do, we got to think of a name for it and start hyping it up. If not, that's perfectly fine. Let's think of something else. What about an Indies marathon? We haven't done an Indies marathon in so long that, you know, I'm out of touch with so many indie games that I've probably missed out on that are really good ones that I could be playing. You know, all kinds of stuff, ideas I'm sure you guys will come up with. So let's start thinking about that. And likely that event, as I said, would be sometime in probably like late May, I'm thinking, would be a good time for it. Okay? Cool. Well, that was a lot to talk about, channels-wise and schedule-wise. I'm all channeled out. Like, I really don't have anything else to say. There's no real news to talk about today in the world of gaming. I've been looking and nothing really. A lot of nonsensical drama. People trying to fucking make shit into stuff that it's not, and dumb stuff. I don't, you know me, I don't play the drama game. So, you know, we'll see. I'll keep my eyes peeled for game news, but right now it's been pretty quiet on that front. Okay? All right. I think what we shall do, let's start with some shout outs, because we have a few things here to talk about and a few shout outs to make and get the discussion going in those directions and see where the game takes, or the day takes us. Okay? Okay. Let's do it. Okay, so we start off with Jade. Jade, 34 months as an Ultra member. Thank you so much, Jade, for your ongoing support of this channel. And he says, I have to go soon, but watch your 6, okay? All right, are you taking off, Jade? I didn't know that you weren't able to be here today. Hope you have a good day wherever you are, what you're doing. Appreciate your ongoing support, man. Thank you. Spider Dijon, 14 months as a supporter of this channel. Thank you so much, Spider Dijon. We have a couple super chats. First super chat here is from BB Phil, who says, my top financial analyst has not quit. What a good day this is shaping up to be. I'm worried all weekend. Let's have fun. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what that means. I don't think you've ever mentioned a financial analyst on the stream before. I don't know if this is some kind of insider reference that I'm supposed to get or not. But thank you for the super chat. And then he did a second super chat and says, Helldivers 2 with Tony Barnhill. I'm only joking. I know you want to re-embrace the relationship at your own pace. Imagine how cool it would be. Why did you start talking about what is going on every day you're talking about Tony Barnhill? All right, this is a guy who I was cool with back in the day in the Street Fighter community, right? I haven't talked to the guy in like 15 years. Why do you keep bringing him up every day? I don't even know where he is. I hope he's happy and alive, but I don't know. You know, why do you keep bringing him up every day? What the hell is that about? Like, can you relax with that shit? Why don't I find out a person from your past and just name drop them on my stream every single day in front of all the people, right? How would you feel? So I think you should chill out with that shit. I don't know why you keep bringing him up every day now. It's starting to get annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this fucking guy's agenda is. He's talking about financial analysts, and he's bringing up old people from the Street Fighter history. Like, what are you talking about? It's starting to get annoying and frustrating. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Anyway, let's continue. My first tip of the day is a $10 tip from BB Phil. Oh my God. So here we go again. I don't even know. Let's see. So he did a $10 tip. He says, I know I've been calling for the red fedora a lot. If I'm honest, I kind of feel the beret at the moment. I thought about trying to have people campaign for it, but that would be against the spirit of the vote. All right. Well, listen. Usually, red fedora is the hat that we would have during Alone in the Dark because the main character I'm playing as, Carnby, wears a fedora, right? And that's the only fedora I have. If I had a more normal colored fedora, then I'd probably be wearing a more normal colored fedora, but that's the only one that we have here, okay? In fact, we even have an emote for it, which is pretty cool. I like the emote. It's very nice. So, thank you for the first tip, but yeah, I wouldn't say campaign. I mean, you could, in the chat, you could say, hey, you know, I'd like this hat today, everyone, vote for it. That's fine, but yeah, I wouldn't go overboard and, like, demand that people vote a certain way or whatever, okay? Yeah, I don't know. This BB Phil is being weird. He's been supportive recently, but he did come out of nowhere in the last week, and now he's starting to be weird about all kinds of shit. Financial analyst, someone from my Street Fighter past, and, you know, what is he talking about? All right, anyway, Big Boss did a super chat and says, did you ever play the Time Splitter series? I did not. I'm well aware of it because I used to... Excuse me. I used to get all the gaming magazines. Like, I used to get EGM and Game Pro and all that shit back in the day. And I remember hearing about Time Splitters in those magazines and seeing a lot of stuff about it on the internet as well. I also used to work, you know, retail. I used to work at Circuit City, Best Buy, and I swear I remember selling the game too. What it is, I have no idea. I've literally never played Time Splitters, so I don't know if it's good or if I would like it or anything like that. Jasper, are you trying to get in the closet? Trying to get in the closet. Here, Jasper, I'll open it the other way. Hold on. If he wants to get in, I don't want him to get... I'll do it for you. There we go. Wants to walk around the closet. There he goes. Okay. All right. So, no, Big Boss, I never played Time Splitters. I'm not aware of even what kind of game it is. I just know that it was popular for a while. Okay? Cool. Sweet. Oh, is that what it is? Someone is saying, listen to this. When he's talking about a financial analyst, I believe he's talking about a troll. He makes videos tracking the amount of tips and super chats that you get with a spreadsheet. That's hilarious. Here's why that's hilarious, okay? Number one, you have absolutely no concept of how much money I make whatsoever. When you go to one of those things like Social Blade, it's completely wrong. That website has never tracked anyone's income properly at all. I can tell you firsthand because I go there and I look at it and I'm like, that's not even close. And it never has been. So you can't believe those websites, okay? If you're trying to track tips, you have no concept of how many tips I make. Because, yes, I do get chargebacks all the time. No, I don't publicly talk about them because it's no one's business and there's no reason to talk about it. It's just a natural thing that happens in the course of being a creator. yeah, a lot of the tips that you see publicly end up being charged back, and there's nothing I can do about it. Sometimes you fight them, sometimes you don't, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's just part of the grind of being a streamer, okay? So you can count every single dollar as if I get it. I don't. There's also a ton of fees and things involved with every single transaction. I don't get everything you see. When someone does a super chat, I don't get that whole super chat. It's not like on Twitch, where on Twitch you get all the bits. You don't get all of that in a super chat. If someone did a $5 super chat right now, I only get a cut of that. I don't get all of it. So tracking it means absolutely nothing. You don't know shit. You're just an idiot. You're wasting your fucking life because you're a loser. All right? So all these morons who believe they know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just moronic, okay? So that's why you don't pay attention to any of the bullshit that they do online, because it's a waste of everyone's time, including theirs. They're only trying to stir up drama. They're trying to act like they know something that they don't, and they can get fucked. Really, like they can screw themselves because they're just a waste of everyone's life. So, if this really is detractor shit, I don't care about those people, okay? BB Phil, I'm not saying that's what you were referencing. I'm talking about this person someone's talking about. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about idiots like this who do this kind of shit. That, you know, for years and years and years, these idiots say, oh, I know exactly what DSP makes and this and that. You don't know shit, man. You really don't. I said right now, my memberships, they're completely shot. You know, my memberships got destroyed when all the fake ones started coming in January. And quite frankly, I'm way down. Like I said, as of the other day, I only had about 300 memberships on the channel. Legit. And, you know, I went from having anywhere from 700 to 800 regular legit memberships to 300 because of that. Like, that, you know how much that hurts me? A ton. You know, that hurts me significantly. And that's not something I'm not getting back right now. You know, it's going to probably take months and months to try to build that back. I can't ever put a leaderboard of saying how many members I have, because at any moment someone could try to gift fake ones, and that skews the number, and it's meaningless. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what I mean. People, oh, I know what he makes. No, you don't. You don't know anything. You're just a fucking idiot. Mouth drooler. A fucking loser. Go do something positive with your life for once. Really. If this is what you're doing with your time, here's what you should do. Go make a ham sandwich and go give it to the homeless. Go donate at a fucking soup kitchen your time to help people. Go clean up yards. Go clean up litter. Do something. Because if you have this much free time, you could be helping the world, but instead you're being a scumbag on the internet, and you're wasting your time and being toxic to everyone around you. You're a waste of life. Go do something with your life. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Nice derailing. So, all right. So I think as of now, I've done all the shout outs. I think. Hold on. Now that I said that. Reload. Ugh. Reload this page. Yes. Okay, yes. I cleaned that. Okay, yes. We're good. All right. I'm all caught up. So, we did suggestion box yesterday. I don't feel like doing that again today. We'll just have a more casual podcast. If you guys want to tag me in the chat to talk, please tag me and we'll see what you want to talk about. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this idiot. Bye. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that guy's an asshole. I'm glad I got rid of him. What a jerk. Okay. I'm also going to get rid of the guy whose name is Ploppy McShitto, because I'm pretty sure he's not well-intentioned. Let's get rid of him, too. Cool. Do I miss making any guide-styled content like I did in the past? I almost never did. There's been a few times over the years that I did, but it was so few and far between. I'm more of the guy that just, you know, plays games at a casual level and enjoys them, and, you know, I'll do a game review at the end, but I'm not someone really making many guides or anything, so. No, working out does not help with post-nasal drip. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. Post-nasal drip is a condition in your sinuses. Working out physically doesn't fix it. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Oh my god. Are there any upcoming movie releases I'm looking forward to? No, I don't even know what movies are coming out. I haven't been following it. What I think of the game Stray, I loved it. I thought the game Stray was absolutely outstanding. Great representation of a cat in a video game, which you never really get, and very innovative in the way that you played it. Really awesome emotional plot and ending. Really loved it. I hope they make a sequel. Will I exercise again now that the weather is good? Likely yes. However, as you know, I don't talk about that stuff publicly. Why? Because the times that I did, of course, the detractors immediately turned it into dumb shit, memes, lied about it. So I just don't pay attention and I don't talk about it. So that's my own personal private shit. And if I do it or not is no one's business. Yeah, probably as it gets warmer, I'll work out a bit again. Okay, Jade. Sounds good. That's why I won't be here today. All right, I'll see you tomorrow then. I hope that you have a good day out. Who's my favorite Star Trek Next Generation episode or character? That's the good thing about Star Trek The Next Generation, is that every character is good. Like, every character on the show is like an ensemble character that completely represents something different and is fun and has their own unique character arcs and backstories. That's why the show is great. It's not like each person only fills in a role. Each character actually feels like a well-written, complex, real person. And that's what I really like about that show. I particularly don't have a favorite. Like, Data, of course, is a fan favorite, an android trying to learn how to be human, but then you've got Worf, someone from a completely different culture, trying to be part of another culture that's basically goes against a lot of his beliefs and how he feels like a fish out of water in that regard. Riker, a guy who has this charisma to him, but is struggling to be a real leader, and over the course of the series becomes a more kind of immature guy and turns into this super good leader who basically could run the Enterprise himself when needed. You know, I could keep going. Like, every character on the show has a great character arc. That's really awesome. So I can't have a personal favorite because they're all good. Like, I don't think there's like an arc that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're all really good. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, another super chat came in. Hold on, because my screen is frozen. I'm going to go to live chat so I can actually see all the messages. Big Boss did another super chat. He says, what was the last Ultimate Collector's Edition game you actually thought was worth or cool? Oh, God. See, I couldn't answer that because basically I stopped buying the Collector's Editions. Not because I thought that the stuff in it was shitty. All right. Honestly, a lot of them were. Okay. Let me give backstory. For those who don't know, I've been around for 16 years. Maybe many of you don't know this context. Okay. When I started as a YouTuber and I started making money doing YouTube videos, I started a series of videos called Release Day Unboxing. What this series was is I would go to GameStop and physically buy a game. All right. And then I would unbox it live in a video, showing you what the case looked like, what the game looked like, reading the materials, showing you the instruction booklet, whatever else it came with. You know, it was interesting to see what you would get with any particular game. So originally I would just do it with the standard game, and the series caught on and people really liked it. So people started asking me, would you get the better edition so that way you have more to show in these videos? So because I was making so much money on YouTube back in the day, I said, sure, why not? I can splurge. I literally was getting every collector's edition possible. Like, I got collector's editions of fighting games, RPGs, Call of Duty, you know, racing games. I remember one game I had like this fucking drone or some shit. You know, I had everything, anything you could get. I had an RC car that came with a Call of Duty game. So it became this thing. On release day, DSP would have the collector's edition of the game, unbox it, show off all of the content, okay, and then play the game. So that was neat. It was like that unboxing video would upload first before I started playing the game, and it would be a lead into the playthrough that was coming later that day. You'd get excited and hyped for it by watching the unboxing video. People loved it. It got, no exaggeration, those videos got tens of thousands of views. In some cases, those unboxing videos paid for the game before I ever booted it. So any video I made after was pure profit for me. Okay? Those were the days. And then what ended up happening was, over time, these game developers decided to stop including good stuff with their games. You would buy a game and you release the unboxing. You open it up. Okay, there's the disc. There's no instruction booklet, no warnings pamphlet, no additional content whatsoever. The box is a bare bones box that barely explains what the game is. Like, release the unboxing, there's nothing to unbox, right? It's the most boring video ever because there's nothing in it. So literally the video series became obsolete on its own as game developers pushed away from putting goodies and interesting things into their physical copies of games. So over that 5-year span that I was doing release day unboxing consistently, dude, I unlocked a ton of unboxed a ton of stuff. I remember like getting an RPG and you open it up and it's got a separate art book with all kinds of concept art and cool art. It's got an additional CD that's the soundtrack. It's got another CD that's like a dev documentary on the making of the game, right? Then it's got codes, DLC codes for in-game content, a skin, a weapon, or whatever. And you could stand there for an hour unboxing this thing because there's so much to look at. Or, getting a deluxe Uncharted, and it's a full-scale mini statue of Nathan Drake with a gun accessory and everything. You can pose and everything. Like, what the hell? Wow. Some really neat stuff that was in some of those. But, man, some of them were shit. I remember, I think it was a Splinter Cell game, and it had, like, a toy plane. And I was like, what do I do with this? First of all, this isn't, like, one scene of the game. It's not even, like, representative of the game. And it's like, why? What is this, and why do I want this? Some of them were just really stupid. But some of them were great. All depended on the game. So, what was my favorite? That I can't attest to. I'd have to go back, and I would have to watch all the videos and look at all the ones that I ever got and kind of then weigh and balance and compare, which, I don't go back and watch my own stuff at all. So, I've never gone back and watched the release day unboxings to know what would have been one of the coolest ones. I would have to go do that. Maybe, again, that's something we could do in the future. I'm now 16 years into this. You realize that? 16 years I've been making content on YouTube. Probably at this point, I'm wondering if I'm up to 100,000 videos or not. I might be at this point. That's a lot of content. And at this point, there's just so much to reminisce about and to have nostalgia over. Maybe that's something we could do one day. Go back and start watching unboxings and see how they were back in the day, right? It was such a different feeling. Okay, continuing on. Maximum Turbo popping their membership message and says, have you tried to learn an instrument? No. When I was younger, I did want to learn the guitar, but I never did. I never got around to it. Buzz Lop just did a super chat and says, what's your favorite generation to cover? I'm assuming you're talking about game generations, correct? Honestly, I was around for Xbox 360, PS3 era. That's when I started, right? Then I was there, obviously, for PS4, Xbox One era, and now here I am into this next console gen of PS5, Xbox Series X. But to some extent, you can argue I covered the PS2 era pretty cohesively, or not cohesively, but I can't even think of the word I'm looking for there. But comprehensively. Why? Because during that PS3, Xbox 360 era, they released a lot of HD upgraded versions. So I ended up playing the Sly Cooper trilogy, the Ratchet and Clank games, right? The biggest ones from that time frame I've played. And, I guess I would say likely the best era for me covering for YouTube was probably the 360 PS3 era. And reason being, at that time, it was very different. There wasn't everyone else on the planet getting games early because they were butt kissers. Okay? So because of that, I was able to go to the store, get the game, at the same time as everyone else, come home, unbox it, play the playthrough, get my playthroughs out right away. And there was this feeling like everyone was there with me playing these games day one, enjoying them, and wanted to share those experiences, and they could do that through my videos, right? And it was cool. When there was a big release day, we all got it, we're all playing it, everyone's sharing their opinions on it, and then you get to see my playthrough, you laugh at my experiences with it, you leave yours in the comments. It was a big social feeling around my content. And then what's happened is slowly over the years, things have changed. They become more commercial. They become more about money. Everyone who's a butt kisser gets a game early, goes ahead and streams it a week early, puts out spoilers early, game previews early, all about money. Not about enjoyment, not about art, not about a social experience of worldwide enjoyment of games, but instead printing this. And as soon as it became that, it lost its amazingness. It really did. Like, it lost its appeal in a lot of ways. I still love gaming, and I love being a gamer, right? But now when a new game comes out, do you feel any hype around it like you used to back in the day? I sure don't. Not at all. I don't. Even the biggest releases, I don't feel that, right? This Shadow of the Erdtree DLC that's coming out in June for Elden Ring, we'll already know everything about it 2 days before it comes out. Someone will already have it and have exclusive access and be able to play it early and spoil it for everyone. That's just how it is now. That's big business gaming. It's bullshit. It's not for the spirit of gaming. It's not for the love of gaming. It's not for the art of it. It's for this. And it's ruined it. So, you know, that era when I started was so different. It felt like a cool organic experience to share day one video games with everyone around the world. It felt amazing to be a content creator at that time. So there you go. All right. Let's get to some tips here. Kirk took the $1 to check out the solar eclipse. No, I already explained. I can't see it because it's cloudy today and rain. I would never be able to see it. Kirk tipped another $1. As the eclipse happened, I got pounced by a mountain lion. No, you didn't. Thanks, Kirk, for the $2 in tips there. Such a liar. Yes, you got pounced by a mountain lion, so the first thing you did is you tipped me $1 to tell me about it. You didn't go to the hospital or anything, right? Yeah, of course. Anyway, Sarah did a super chat saying, do I regret buying the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth Collector's Edition? Listen, at least I got something out of it, right? I got 2 jobs that I ended up using a lot during the playthrough, and at the very end of the playthrough, I got to use the experience up things to basically max out my characters very quickly, so we didn't have to grind that much. So I got something out of it. Did I get everything out of it? Hell no. I didn't. I barely or really didn't use any of the Dundoko Island stuff. I used none of the Sujimon stuff at all because I never did the Sujimon side content. It's just not necessary in the game at all to ever do it. It just feels like the only way you're going to get your money's worth out of the collector's edition or the biggest edition of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is if you're planning to play that game for like 2 months straight. It's the only thing you're going to play, so you're absolutely plotting out to do every piece of side content. So essentially, if you're like Slayer is the kind of guy that when he starts playing a video game, he immerses himself in that world for like a month. It's the only game he plays, and he does every piece of side content, every side mission, and he just gets everything out of that game that he spent money on. So for someone like Slayer, it's probably absolutely amazing to get that much content. For me, here I am trying to juggle that playthrough that's already pretty long with a million other games, and you get to a point where it's like, I got to draw the line on the amount of side content I'm doing, and so I didn't get everything out of it, and yeah, I feel like a lot of it went wasted. So, apparently, because I got that edition, there's a whole post-game dungeon that unlocks that I'll never see, because why am I going to play that? I beat the game, right? I received a $2 tip from Dwight. When I played Alone in the Dark, I got the regular ending without finding secret objectives. I'm looking forward to see what ending you get, depending what side objectives you choose to do. All right, let's find out. I have gotten a lot of the secret collectibles, right? I went out of my way to try to find a lot of them. I know I must have missed some of them. But let's see what ending I get with Carnby, and then if we do this second run with Emily, apparently you find different collectibles that expose more of the story. So I guess that'll be neat. Let's see. I received a $3 tip from someone named Triple DSP. They say, when these content creators are getting the game early, they can't say a negative thing about the game because it's a paid advertisement. The whole system is corrupted. Yeah, do you want to know how they get around that? Because it's funny. So they'll get a game early, about a week or two early, and they're told, okay, you can only start talking about the game on this date, but you can only say certain things. Then on this date, you can release your first impressions. Then on this date, you can actually release your review, but you're allowed to stream the game on this date. So they have all these very specific criteria of what you can do if you get a game early, if you're one of these entitled special content creators. And you might say, well, why do they do it that way? Because if they do it that way, you can't criticize the game. That's why. Because they say there's a review embargo. You can't say anything bad about the game because that's considered a review. And you can't review the game until a certain date. So you can say certain things only that selectively make the game sound good. There was actually people who stream a game early, and as they don't really say much. They're just commentating on the game and playing, but they don't say if they like it or not or anything. And people are like, well, why aren't you giving your opinion? They say there's a review embargo. I can't do that. But then why are you streaming it? So you're literally withholding your thoughts on the game, and you're giving it free advertisement on your channel because you're getting a paycheck. Literally anyone who plays a game early is getting paid for free positive advertisement. You understand? Like, but people don't get that. They think, oh, this is legit. This is legit gameplay, a legit playthrough, legit. No, it's not. Anyone who gets it early is under those criteria that they can't say shit, and therefore it's a paid advertisement. But they don't. The problem is people are they're gullible. They think, oh, this game person really cares about me and my, you're giving me such fun, legit content today. No, they're advertising to you. Anyone who participates in those campaigns is advertising to you every moment. I received a $5 tip from BB Phil. I think you undervalue the economic value of people in the early Street Fighter days and their stories. I can sense a rich history. Crews, grudges, old school competitors. I don't mind shutting up about it though, especially if a Street Fighter event might be coming from your channel. Yeah, I mean, we might be doing something like that. And in which case, if you guys wanted to talk about the old school Street Fighter days and have me think of stories and things, then we could talk, I don't think that it randomly makes sense to just toss in those kind of stories on the podcast, kind of out of context. And I'll be honest, I don't think it's fair to like name drop people because you don't know how that affects them. Like people I haven't seen in years and years and years. And then all of a sudden you start name dropping them and it's like, yeah, but what if people try to fucking harass them now on the internet? We should be doing that, right? So you gotta be careful about that shit. You do. I'm nervous my neck phones. Last night I plugged them in after the late stream. And the light didn't light up. And I noticed this, so I plugged them in, but then I was out of time, so I closed everything. Now I've got them plugged in, but the red light has been on for an hour and it hasn't gone off, which means I don't know if they've charged. I don't know what's going on. When the red light is on, it means it should be charging, but it should have been charged by now. I don't know why they're not. I'm getting very nervous that something is going wrong with my neck phones. I hope not, because these are brand new. I just bought these. And I actually have another pair over there that a fan donated, but that's so that my wife and I can each have a pair for co-op. I don't know what's going on. I hope they're charging. I'm actually getting legit nervous now. I just realized it's been over an hour and they're still showing as red. Why? Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully these are charging and they didn't have some kind of a fucking error or fuck up. Shit. Because I got to use them soon. We're going to be starting gameplay within half an hour here. I hope they're working. God damn it. Go green, you son of a bitch. Anyway. I received a $20 tip. From 1 Minute Man. He says, I think you should do a second run with what's her name. Her name is Emily. He says, the game's short. If you do a second run, you'll get your money's worth. The game would have been more interesting with more interaction between the two characters. The game also would make more sense if the reason for Carnby's memory loss gets explained. Why doesn't he remember that he pulled his girl from a submerged car? It doesn't make sense. I think it might get explained, right? I think it should be explained, because you're right. At first he doesn't remember, but then now he's getting his memory back over the course of the game. So maybe it will be explained. We don't know yet. We're in that kind of final act for Carnby, at least. I guess we'll find out. Maybe today. But, yeah, I am considering doing the second one with Emily, but I don't know if it would retain being a day stream. Maybe we should convert it to the night stream. I guess we'll talk about that. So thank you, 1 Minute Man, for the tip. Biggest tip of the day, by the way. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm really nervous about this headset. I'm wondering what's going on. I don't think I've ever seen it. You know what it is? So when I usually charge the headset, I charge it between streams. So I'll finish my first stream, I'll plug it in, I'll just leave it plugged in, and by the time I come back for the late stream, it's charged. Technically, I don't know how long it takes to charge it. So maybe that's what maybe it does take like 2 hours to charge, and I just don't know it, because I usually wouldn't charge it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I usually wouldn't be sitting here staring at it, charging it. And I think what happened was, I don't think it charged at all last night after my late stream. So basically it has to fully, like, do a full recharge. So maybe it's just taking longer. I hope. I have it plugged into my laptop. That's how it gets charged, because it's USB-C. It can't reach my console. The USB-C cord it came with is super short. Although I could use one of the cords that I'm using for one of my game pads to charge it, I suppose. But I don't know how well that would work, or if any better than having it plugged into my laptop. I just don't know. How old is the headset? It's brand new. Because my original Hori neck phones that I was using for like 2-3 years broke back in like January, February. So I had to order a replacement off of Amazon, which I did. And then consequently, I was going to do co-op with Kat, and a fan said, you know, it would be nice if you each had your own neck phones, and said they would donate a pair, so they did, and they're actually sitting over there brand new unused for when we actually do co-op. So I have 2 pairs of these, but I would hope, I mean, I just bought this one. I hope that it didn't break. That would really suck. Megan says, you seem to enjoy short narrative-based games that are on rails and don't require much investment. Do you believe this as well? Well, here's why. Because man, is that good variety compared to the 100-plus hour RPGs that are out there. I mean, I just played Baldur's Gate 3, which was over 140 hours. I just played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which was 60-something hours, right? I was 20-plus hours in a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You know, we're playing these insano games that never end. And so when you play a game like Alone in the Dark, that's a more refreshing narrative-based experience. There's gameplay and there's puzzles, but the narrative is the hook, right? It makes it feel like good variety and refreshing. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. You need variety to feel refreshed, so you're not just doing the same thing over and over. That's why this channel was stagnant for 2 months. My views literally went like this for 2 months. It's like, oh my God. So now it's starting to come back now because I'm doing variety content again. The Divine Comedy Stand-Up Special. I don't know where you got that name from. Says, I have a pair of Insignia wireless headphones for my TV. It would be hard for you to talk and chat without yelling. They're noise canceling. They sound awesome. Megan, that's not true. Megan says, I don't think you really enjoy long games that require a lot of investment. It's not about variety. It's about your enjoyment. I very much enjoyed Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I actually wish I could have taken more time with it, but people were tired of it. I had to actually rush through the end, or else I never would have finished it. In the case of Baldur's Gate 3, I like the game, but it is definitely, in my opinion, too long of a game. It's just way too much time investment required to get through it. So in that case, I'll agree. I disagree with other RPGs. Usually I like long-form RPGs. Port 4, I don't have any experience with Final Fantasy 14. I can't speak to it. I've never played the game, so I can't say either way if I like it or dislike it or know anything. I don't even know anything about it. So I can't speak to it at all. You know what I should do? Hold on, because now I'm so nervous. Hold on a second. Well, they turn on. And they seem to be working. I just want to be sure the neck phones turn on and off. I'll keep them charging until we're ready to start. Buzzlop did a super chat, says it's good you're moving away from the must finish every game mentality. It's not an economically viable niche. Start flushing games more. Here's the thing. I'm okay with that, but I can't be dropping tons of money on those games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't spend $70 on a game, play it 2 streams, and drop it. It's not economically viable then. You know what I mean? I've got to invest into games that I know are going to end up being playthroughs. So I don't I don't have the level of popularity like other streamers that you watch who are probably way more popular than me, where those people are bringing in, no exaggeration, so much money a day with each stream. Plus, they've got sponsorships. They've got all this shit going on all the time. They're just money printing constantly in every direction. So for them, there's no investment in anything. They can literally just sit there and boom, get a game for free. Or boom, drop 70, 80 bucks. No big deal. Doesn't make a difference. They fart that money out, right? For me, that's an investment, to spend that much money on a game and then not play it. So there's a difference between like a Game Pass. Oh, if I have Game Pass and we're doing Game Pass night and I pick 5 games off Game Pass and all of them suck, who cares, right? Versus sitting there and say, I'm going to buy this one, buy this one, buy this one, buy this one. And I get out of all those 5 games that I bought and spent, $300+, I only play one of them at length. I can't do that. I'm not popular enough. I'm a dude who brings in a few hundred viewers a stream. I get a trickle of ad revenue every day. What I make on my streams is literally my income. And that has to go to pay everything around here. All my utilities, my mortgage, everything, insurance, plus cost of games, cost of, everything around here. Yeah, I just don't have that much. If I was 2-3 times as big, if I was like back in the day rolling in dough like I was when I was a YouTuber at the top of his game over 10 years ago, then it wouldn't be a big deal at all. I'd be like, hey, I'll buy every game out there, right? Under the sun. Or again, if I was one of these people who kissed butt, so I got every game for free. So there's no actual commitment. As long as you play a certain amount of the game, you've fulfilled your commitment to the game makers who give you the game for free, then it'd be fine. But you guys don't understand. I don't play the game. I'm not every other content creator. I don't do that on purpose. So that way I don't have to kiss the butt. I don't do that shit. I'm not going to be getting the stuff for free. You know what I mean? Okay. Some more tips coming in. Big Baba Phil with $1 tip says variety really is key for your channel. The most hyped games I remember in DSPGaming were you playing platformers, racers, retro, new adventure games, RPGs, survival horror all at the same time. Every day is something new. I think the game release schedule also screwed you recently. I mean, again, undoubtedly, yes. I hate saying it, but RPG overload screwed the channel. There were just too many high-profile, insanely long RPGs that came out all back-to-back, and there was no real other variety in the schedule for anything good. If games like Suicide Squad had been good, it would have broken up the schedule and done good variety, but it didn't. Every other game was shit. Like, literal, every game was crap, and then 5 RPGs. So I played the RPGs, and that's what screwed the channel over. So now we're coming back from that, and that's a good thing, right? Received a $2 tip from Triple DSP. Says, Phil, you missed my first tip. No, I didn't. I shouted it out. Not only did I shout it out, I just gave a full response. Were you not paying attention? I totally just did. Thank you for the $2 tip. And then I received a $3 tip from Triple DSP. Oh, wait, maybe this is it. Maybe they came in the wrong order. What's up, Phil? Remember how powerful Mass Effect 2 Suicide Mission was? How every character had a purpose? Was there another game mission that has that impact off of the top of your head? Man. I would say, and I know this is going to be a throwback no one's going to get if you weren't around, Final Fantasy VI. At the end of Final Fantasy VI, you're required to split all of your characters into 3 distinct parties, and you need to balance each party. You need to make sure that each party has a way to heal itself, each party has a way to use magic attacks, each party has like a well-balanced melee fighter, because the enemies in each area have variety, and you need to know what to use against what. So you need to have like everything well balanced. So it's kind of the same deal. It's not that you're picking specifically, okay, Legion is good for this task, or, Tali would be good for this task. It's more like, okay, I need to make sure that I cover all the bases in each of these 3 parties as it goes through this lengthy final dungeon, so no one gets soft locked into not being able to beat something. There you go. Of course, everyone will be like, what the hell? Final Fantasy VI, what kind of a reference is that? Right? By the way, I got a super chat and it's glitched. It shows twice. Let me see if I can get this to fix. Yeah, there we go. I refreshed and it seems to have fixed it. I received a $10 super chat from DSP is the GOAT. I'm loving this playthrough, Phil. Survival horror is always great, and I'm excited for the conclusion. Yes, and since you just showed up, DSP is the GOAT, we had a discussion that once we finish this first Carnby run, that I'm probably going to do a second one with Emily, because Emily's story is apparently different from Carnby's. But being that we've already done the first run, it may be night streams rather than day streams. So we'll see. We'll see how today goes. Okay. Wow. A lot of discussion today. I thought today maybe we'd be on the slower side for the podcast because I didn't have any real major topics, but you guys had a lot to talk about. What else would you like to talk about? Last chance for topics if you want to hit me up with a question or a shout out for a contribution. Let's see what you guys want to say. But keep in mind, guys, this is my only stream today. I'm not here tonight. Apologies for that, but it's kind of necessary. By the way, it's the only time this month I can't stream at night, which is good. Unlike last month where many streams I couldn't stream at night. this month, this is the one night I do the private videos for patrons. I'm going to be doing some behind the scenes stuff for the business, getting it done, and then I'll be able to do double streams moving forward rest of April, which is good. It's going good, Game Boy. Thanks for asking. What's Jasper's favorite special treat? Every day we give him a liquid treat. It's called Inaba, and it's these liquid treats that come in like a tube thing, and there's all these different flavors that you can eat. And I think he has tuna, chicken, scallops. There's like like 5 or 6 different flavors that he really likes, and we just give him one a day. It's not fancy at all. It's not fancy. It's a basic cat treat. Yeah, I will not be able to see any signs of the eclipse because of full clouds and rain here. So even if it's happening, I can't see it. I don't know if it would have happened or when it would have happened, but it's not visible here in Washington. Oh, okay. Have we winded down? Are we good? You guys seem to be calmed down now. No one's really saying anything else in the chat. No one's tagging me or really having any topics. So, all right. I guess we've exhausted all discussions. Ooh, I guess it's time to adjourn the show. If that's the case, we will adjourn the show, and we'll get ready. All right, everyone. Thank you. Good podcast today. Hey, a reasonably length podcast, right? Not super long for once, which is always good. Hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, obviously, I'll be giving you my thoughts on the first ending of Alone in the Dark and whether we decided to do the second run or not, and anything else in the realm of game news and the like. Thank you guys so much. Great podcast today. Looking forward to a great week with all of you. Thanks. Be safe. Peace out. Don't let the eclipse suck you into another dimension. I'll see you tomorrow.